You're not playing a big enough game. I said that to my client several hours ago. I've said it to myself over the past week. You're not playing a big enough game. This is an important element of your highest potential and your ability to play full out in life. Because far too many of us, in fact, there's a statistic I recently saw that was put out by Deloitte. 77% of people say that they feel burnt out by their work. 77%. And here's the thing. I don't think the data is correct. I don't think people are actually burnt out. I don't. I think they're bored. I think far too few of us are truly living into who we know ourselves to be. We're bored. We're doing things that we think we're supposed to do, but doesn't light us up. We're over-obligated, but not committed to what truly would light us up, to creating the life that we do want. That's the bigger game that I'm calling you to play. Because I started playing a bigger game about 5 years ago. I was a vice president of sales of a $300 million logistics company. I had a third of the company reporting to me. On paper, I'm kind of a big deal. Yet I wasn't fulfilled. I was bored. But at the time, I was probably saying I was burnt out. I was tired. But I learned I had so much more gas in the tank. I was bored. I was not doing what I was being called to do. I wasn't playing a big enough game. Because deep down inside, I knew that I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to work intimately, one-on-one with other leaders, other business owners, and help them unleash their dream and get them playing full out towards that bigger game that they're being called to play. I knew that that was what I desired to do, but yet I wasn't doing it for years. And I called it burnout. But then, about 5 years ago, I decided to step out on my own. I started my own business, started leading leaders on how to become better leaders. And I started building a business. I eventually left my job. And I'm a full-time coach now. I'm doing my dream. And dang it, there's that feeling again. Burnout. But then I flipped it on its head. I'm like, oh, no. I'm not burnt out. I'm bored. Whoa. Where am I not playing a big enough game? Because there was this other thing that I was starting to think about, and that was speaking. I wanted to start speaking from stages. But I'm a coach. I work one-on-one with people. I don't speak from stages. Speaking from stages, that's something different. And I kept feeling like those two things were in conflict with one another. Like, God, I got to choose. Like, do I want to do this coaching thing or do I want to do the speaking thing? Now, I'm sharing this with you. I don't pretend to think that you're a coach or a speaker. That doesn't matter. I want you to, this is about you, not me. So wherever I felt like I was in conflict, like you, like maybe you feel like, God, this isn't really what I want to be doing, or, this business, I'm not even sure I want to keep doing this, or this role that I'm in, I don't know. It's just, there's got to be something more out there. And you see, you and I, we constantly are looking out there for something better. And we call it burnout, and we call it switching gears or changing course. You see, I think that's all very deceptive. I think that gets us off track. Because when I was putting myself in a position of like, do I want to do more of this or more of this? Well, fundamentally, I was believing I couldn't do both. You want to know why? My vision could not contain both. My vision wasn't big enough. I wasn't playing a big enough game. Because when I started playing a bigger game in my mind and started to see myself playing a bigger game, I just saw each one of those as tools and components to something much bigger. I had to create a bigger container so that everything about me could fit. Far too few of us, we're living in like a house that's too small, that can't contain your true dream and your true resonance and what you truly want to create in your life. So that's what a bigger game does. It creates a bigger container for you to fit all of you in it. You don't have to feel like you got to go out and create something new to, scratch this itch or that itch. No. We need to build something that becomes you. It is you. It's the fullest expression of your vision. That's the bigger game. So that's my question for you is, what is the bigger game you could be playing? Like, what if you were just to believe what I'm telling you right now is true? You're not playing a big enough game. If that were true, what would be telling you it's true? And let that inform where you need to start expanding your vision. The vision, guys, is everything. You got to have a vision, and it's got to be big. So, for example, speaking, coaching, which one do I want to do? I kind of want to do the speaking thing too. Maybe I'll do that on the side, And it just was like I was constantly trying to fit everything in. I had a lot to do. But then I got a vision. I wrote down 1 million resonant creative leaders. Resonant creative leadership is a term that I've come up with because I started looking out in the landscape of leadership and the leaders that I most admired. And what I found is those leaders, they're not only getting the highest results in their businesses they're running or the teams they're leading, it's that they almost do it effortlessly. You know those people, like, it's just like they just do it, like, without effort. It comes natural for them. And what I found is these leaders are coming from a place of resonant creative leadership. Resonant in that what they do and how they do it is in alignment with who they are. It's the fullest, most authentic expression of them. And creative in that it's an expression towards possibility, opportunity, and growth. And leadership it includes others. Resonant creative leadership. And so my vision is to create a community to impact 1 million resonant creative leaders. And I even made it bigger by putting world-renowned resonant creative leaders, world-class resonant creative leaders. Because if I was playing a big enough game, the impact that I would be making would be transforming people into world-renowned resonant creative leaders. This is big, y'all, right? Now it's getting big, and I'm kind of having a moment of like, oh shit, can I really do this? And it started to come up with this picture of like becoming the best at this, like committing the next 20 years of my life to this one thing. And now all of a sudden, that container got really big. And now it's like, well, of course I'm going to be speaking from stages. And of course I'm going to be coaching one-on-one in groups of 30. I'm going to be doing retreats and events. I'm going to have my own event. I'm going to have my own book. I'm going to have, like, all of a sudden the container got so big that I felt like I had room to breathe. And I was able to now go play. So you're not burnout. You're bored. You're not playing a big enough game. I wasn't burnout. I wasn't playing a big enough game. And you guys, this keeps happening to me. Like, as soon as I put myself into one arena, that boredom comes up, and it's like, I gotta keep putting myself in a position where I'm playing a bigger game. You have to keep putting yourself into bigger and bigger arenas. One, that's how you grow. That's how you develop. And the second you develop and you grow, it's time to go find a bigger arena. That's how it works, y'all. It's how it works. Otherwise, we get bored and we call it burnout. So, play a bigger game. What is your bigger game? What does it look like? And you know what? If you're excited about leaning into your bigger game and playing a bigger game in your life and in your business, then we need to continue this conversation. So if you're as excited about this as I am, join my newsletter. It's the best way to stay in touch with me. You can kind of get inside my head, see what I'm working on with my clients and the companies I work with. And it's just the best way to stay in touch with me. So your marching orders is to go out there and contemplate what is your bigger game. Draw a picture of it. Write it on a sheet of paper. Just journal around it. Like, if you were to let yourself dream, and my coach taught me, bring a big timeline to the game. Like, it's not a 1 year bigger game, it's a 10-year big. Like, give yourself 10 years. What's the big game you're playing over the next 10 years? Because 1 million resident creative leaders, I'm willing to spend the next 20 years of my life doing that. And that's cool. That's what I want for you. So sit down tonight in the morning with a journal, a blank sheet of paper, and just dream a little bit. What is the bigger game? What if you were to create a bigger container that could fit all of you in it? So you don't have to feel like you got to be one way here and then over here be another way. Like, no, be full out, play full out in your business, in the companies you work for. And that starts with you getting a bigger vision, you playing a bigger game.